Bijan Robinson wasn't supposed to be here.
I'm gonna pick you right here, man.
Hey, let's go. Thank God, man.
Listen to me, man. It's not just the player you are, it's the person you are.
Hey, God is good. Let's go do this.
God is good, man.
When born, Bijan wasn't breathing for minutes. His grandmother, who was in the delivery room, said she heard a voice say, "Take your 3 fingers and lay them on his chest." Once she did, Bijan started breathing. Growing up in Arizona with his mom and grandparents, Robinson's love for the game came from his grandfather Cleo, who he called Dad. Cleo was a college football referee for nearly 3 decades. When Cleo arrived home from work, he would always have the game program in hand. Little Bijan would eagerly take the program to his grandfather's home office, where he would spend hours meticulously cutting out the players. With great care, Bijan would place each player in their designated position on a table and spend the rest of the evening moving the players around in accordance with the plays he had drawn up. Cleo would also watch film of the game he just officiated. Bijan would always join him in the study, carefully observing the players' movements and analyzing the reasons behind each decision they made. His grandfather was always there to answer all the questions a young, inquisitive Bijan had. During this time, Bijan developed a deep appreciation for the game and understanding of the strategic thinking that goes into each play. Over time, Bijan's love for the game only grew. Instead of having a teddy bear or a blankie like most children, Bijan had an emotional support football. This football went with him everywhere. Eventually, his mom had to make certain rules as to where the football could and couldn't go. One place it couldn't be was in church. But one day, while the pastor was giving his sermon, a football that happened to belong to you-know-who started rolling down the aisle for everyone to see. When getting in some trouble with his family after the incident, the pastor walked by and said, "Leave that boy alone. It's embedded in him." Football was truly embedded in and is still embedded in Bijan. He would often play football in the house so aggressively that he broke many things. His grandma saved all the broken items in a box and told kid Bijan he would have to pay for all of them once he got to the NFL. Maybe that's why when Bijan was 10, he wrote on a sticky note that he hung on his bedroom wall, "God take me to the NFL. First round 2. His time playing with cutout football players on a table and watching film with his grandpa helped Bijan be way ahead of his peers by the time he stepped foot on a tackle football field. He just knew where he needed to be at all times and where the ball was going. He had an amazing natural feel for the game. By 8th grade, Bijan was being recruited by high school football teams. As a freshman, the coaches were astonished by his football IQ at such a young age. Even though he received limited carries his freshman season, he received his first collegiate offer from Arizona following that year. During his sophomore year, Bijan became a star. He rushed for over 2,000 yards and had 29 touchdowns. It was after that season all the big-time offers started rolling in from schools like Alabama, Oklahoma, and Michigan. In total, Bijan received over 20 collegiate offers. Schools were doing anything they could to improve their odds at landing the star running back. College coaches would wait in the parking lot to talk to his mother. And after his junior season, he had over 800 unread text messages from college coaches. Even after a great sophomore year, Bijan leveled up again his junior season, rushing for over 12,400 yards and scoring 36 touchdowns. Following his junior season, Robinson was a 5-star recruit and the top-ranked running back in his recruiting class. Initially, Bijan silently committed to Ohio State early in the summer before his senior season. So how did he end up publicly committing to Texas just a few weeks later? One factor that may have influenced Robinson's decision was the strong connection he developed with Texas running back coach who recruited him. Bijan trusted Coach Drayton's ability to develop his game and reach his full potential as a player. Additionally, Robinson was drawn to the opportunity to make a significant impact on a team's success, rather than simply joining a team that had already been wildly successful. Bijan wanted to be a key player in lifting up a team. Even after his college commitment, Bijan continued to get better at the high school level, averaging over 17 yards per carry his senior season. And oh yeah, he also had over 40 touchdowns too. He might not have gotten a ton of carries early on his freshman season at Texas, but by the end of the year, it was clear Bijan Robinson was going to be a star. In the second to last game of his freshman season at Texas, Bijan rushed for 172 yards, averaging over 19 yards per carry and scored 3 touchdowns. In his final game, a bowl game, he rushed for 183 yards on 10 carries, scoring a touchdown and taking home Alamo Bowl MVP honors. His sophomore season at Texas, he picked up right where he left off, rushing for 1,200 yards and making the all Big 12 first team. Bijan was the best running back in college football at making defenders miss, but also had an insane ability to truck them over and get huge chunks of yards after contact. And in his final collegiate season, he rushed for over 1,500 yards, was an anonymous All-American, and won the award for best running back in the nation. During the pre-draft process, Bijan Robinson was one of the most highly touted running back prospects in history. After being drafted 8th overall by the Falcons, he is currently the favorite to win Rookie of the Year and truly has Hall of Fame potential.